Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Up Your Alley. It's a podcast with two best friends. It's me. My name is Taylor Edgar, and with me, as always, is my best friend, Jake Baggett. Say hi, Jake.
Hey, buddy.
It's a show where we recommend things to each other, come back the next week, and grade them between 1 and 3, depending on how much it is up our individual alleys. After a tie 3-3 match last week, I am still in the lead by 1 point, 55 to Jake's 54. This week, we are getting into Jake's recommendation for me, which was the episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000, where they talk over the film Time Chasers, a 1994 sci-fi film, if you call it that. We'll get into that later. While I'm talking to, then we're going to talk about my recommendation for Jake, which was 2023 TV show Twisted Metal, based on the video game series of the same name, now available to stream on Peacock. But before we get into that, we're going to catch up a little bit. How are you, Jake?
I'm doing great, buddy.
What you been up to, man?
I been playing a new video game.
Okay, tell.
It's called Session. Have you heard of it? Mm-mm. So, do you remember Skate?
Yes, I do.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was fun. That was a PS2?
PS3.
PS3?
Yeah, Xbox 360, PS3. Where you use one stick to kick, flip, and stuff.
Yeah.
This game, you use two sticks. One for your front foot, one for the back foot.
Is it the same developers and stuff? Or?
No. It's an indie-developed game.
Nice.
And I've been wanting to play a game like Skate. You can't download it for the current generation for some reason. Mm-hmm. And that's how I found this game. And
what are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on my PlayStation 5. And it's still like in development, but I'm having a great time.
It's just like a trial?
No, like it's the game, but they're still adding more and more stuff onto it.
Huh.
Yeah. And it's really fun. They're direction is trying to go even more technical than Skate was. So, like, you have to set up your back foot.
Does it have, like, kind of the silly things? 'Cause I remember at one point Skate had it might have been Skate 2, had a mini game where you're just trying to launch the body of your skater as far as possible.
The Hall of Bones or whatever. No.
Yeah, you're just, like, going down a pipe and trying to fling it. That was so fun. That was a fun drinking game.
Because if you hit, like, the edge of a sidewalk from the pavement, you will go flying.
Really?
Off of it. It's so funny every single time.
It's like Gran Turismo, where like Tony Hawk is like
Tony Hawk's arcade.
Tony Hawk's like Grand Theft Auto driving, whereas Gran Turismo is like highly technical. You need to know what a car is doing.
You need to know what your feet do when you do a kickflip.
You need to know what those feet do.
You know what them feet do, girl.
Don't. Ew.
Dude, what them feet do, girl.
It's too early in the podcast to be gross.
But yeah, you bring your back foot back. So that you can set up for a pop-up, and then you kick your foot
I got a skateboard
out to
over
the
there.
right.
You gonna bust something out?
So that you can... Oh, of course not. I can't do it. I just like watching it and playing the video games.
I would, but I'm wearing flip-flops, so I can't right now.
You can't do it.
No.
I did it last night.
Yeah. My girlfriend who lives in Canada saw me do it.
It's so much fun. It's the feeling that I really enjoy, where you see the line in your head that you want to hit, and you fail like 20 times trying to do it. And you get more and more mad until you nail it, and then you're ripping your shirt off going, oh my God, I can do it. It's very fun.
I'll have to check that out. So Session, you're playing on PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
That actually ties into what I want to talk about.
Ooh.
Something, Jake, you know me.
Yeah.
You know I love capitalism.
Yeah. You're a big fan.
One of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm. It's what we talk about mostly off mic.
So did you hear, I guess this will come out... When will this come out? Full disclosure, we're recording on August 10th. This will come out on the 18th, so this will be a week, which will then be a day after August 17th.
Yeah.
Did you see the press release from Rockstar Games?
Yes, I did. Mixed feelings, definitely.
I don't have mixed feelings at all.
I'm going to buy it.
So here's what's happening. So for the past couple months, and I've been following this on the Red Dead Redemption subreddit. I think I've mentioned it enough times on this podcast. Red Dead Redemption 2, one of my favorite games ever. It's a comfort food of a game. I can just slip right back into it, and I can get lost in on PlayStation 5. I didn't realize how much better it looks until like some people on YouTube will do a side-by-side of, I guess, what it looked like on PS4, which was still great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Versus PS5, and it's just maybe in my head the game always looked this good.
Yeah,
because it
looks great, and
front to back.
It just looks better.
It might be a perfect video game
for you,
for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have my gripes with it.
That's fine. Go back to your
darn straight. It's fine.
Yeah,
because I think Red Dead Redemption is a perfect video game.
Red Dead Redemption is a great video game. So on the subreddits and stuff, there are things people that kind of follow. Really into the video game tech world and news reporting. It's like Rockstar filed a copyright for Red Dead Remake. and they filed all these and these domain names, and people are finding information like this is a leak, this is what's going to happen. So I got super hyped. They said it's one of two things. It's either going to be a remake of Red Dead Redemption, or it's going to be a sequel to the Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, which was a DLC where it was Red Dead Redemption but zombies.
Yeah.
So it was either one of those.
Excellent
DLC.
DLC.
It was one of the best DLCs. And so it was either going to be a remade Red Dead Redemption or Undead Nightmare
style
2.
Of Undead Nightmare. Yeah.
And I was super stoked for either of those things, to the point where I booted back up Red Dead Redemption. It sent me back down the rabbit hole of like, hey, I'm going to sit here and be a cowboy for a little bit.
Yeah. You booted up Red Dead Redemption 2 or
Red
1?
Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Because I found out I can't play Red Dead Redemption.
Exactly.
As a PlayStation owner, apparently if you have an Xbox, you could still get it.
Yes.
Because they released it. You could get the Xbox 360 version. And it's,
backward compatible.
Backward compatible. PlayStation, you can't do that.
No.
PlayStation 5, rather. You can't do that in PlayStation 4. For up until, I think, at some point last year, it was available to download digitally, but it was the PS3 version.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't updated. So that's why I got stoked that they were going to put it, and, spoilers for Red Dead Redemption 2, I guess, but you end up playing as the protagonist from Red Dead Redemption 1 at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2, because Red Dead Redemption 2 takes place beforehand. And you play as John Marston, and you go back to, geographically, it's the same location that the first game takes place in.
Right.
It's, a couple years beforehand, so some of the towns are different, and yada, yada, yada. But geographically, it's the same. You can see the same mountains, rivers, and it's a great epilogue to Red Dead Redemption 2. You get
John's
to go back
house is in both games.
Right. You get to go back and revisit all the places you remember. Not all of them. You don't get to go to Mexico. But, and so they have that area made in the Red Dead Redemption 2 engine. So I was like, oh, they've got half of the remake pretty much already done.
Yeah.
You've got the sprites.
Just build on top of it.
You've got everything else. You just need to plug in. I don't know how video games work, but you plug in the story beats and the dialogue and shit like that.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah,
You got a game.
It's not like you would even have to re-record all the dialogue. The dialogue's still there. It's the same voice actors for the places that play, Dutch and John and Abigail and all them. So I'm like, I'm really looking forward to just an HD remake, because this is something that we talked about with Final Fantasy VII, with Resident Evil 4. Last of Us also got remade from the ground up, the first Last of Us. So really seemed like this was a prime time for
that would have been
golden
great.
age of remakes. I'm like, fuck, yes.
That would have been great to have that remake. Yeah.
Then they announce that it's just a port.
Yeah. It's just straight up port.
It's just a port.
It's not even remastered.
And it's coming to the Switch, which is
that's cool,
fun, I guess. But also, the Switch can run an Xbox 360 game.
But also, the Switch couldn't run the Grand Theft Auto trilogy.
That's the thing. It can't.
But that was like a bad.
Yeah, I found out that game
remake.
That port was apparently mostly made by AI.
Well,
writing the code.
They for assets, to make the.
Just to make
make them look better.
Work on the new.
They were
systems,
make it look better. AI make the make this donut look like a donut.
Yeah, less like an octagon, more like a circle.
And then it ruins the joke because it's called Nuts and Bolts Donuts.
Exactly.
That's like making fun of how it
the
looks
limitations.
like a nut. Yeah.
So not only that, but this goes back to my love of capitalism, my normal love of capitalism. It's $50.
Yeah.
It's full. I guess a real game or a new game is $70 now.
Yeah.
But for most of us, we consider that full price for a game.
Yeah. That's
it's
a wild
something
price.
that's been available for the Xbox community.
Yeah.
For a long time.
It's ridiculous that it's not downloadable. That's the first part. That it's been this long that you couldn't just have it.
Because it's not even a PS5 game.
Because
it's for PS4 that's playable on PS5.
It's Red Dead Redemption, the first one?
Yeah.
It's for PlayStation 3.
No, but the new one that's coming out.
Oh, yes.
It's
I see what you mean.
PS4,
Yeah.
but playable on PS5.
Right. And it could have just been something where they're like, hey, here, you can download it now so you don't have to plug in your PlayStation 3 to play this fucking game. And I would have been like, perfect. That helps me not have to plug in my PlayStation 3.
And they've done that with... It's kind of like a newer backwards compatibility. Like, I know they did it with the first Spider-Man. And I think Miles Morales, not Spider-Man, but Spider-Man Miles Morales. Where if you put that in, it's a PS4 game, you put it in PS5, they're like, oh, we download all the graphical updates and everything, just like you had bought the PS5 copy. It's like a next-gen update. They did it with
I think it cost like $10 or something like that.
Well, they did it with Witcher 3 as well.
They did that with Ghost of Tsushima as well. Yeah.
And it's not even that. It's just a
It's
PS3
straight
game.
up. Yeah, it's just taking it from the PlayStation 3 and allowing you to download it,
Which everything that I've read,
which is fine.
that game holds up. Everyone says, no, the game still holds up,
Yeah.
which I don't doubt that it does.
I can't wait to play it again. The price point is something that's crazy to me.
And I think it's
$50, $30 sounds great.
the only thing I can see paying 50. And honestly, full disclosure, I can rant and rave and say, so stupid that they're charging this. How can they be doing this? I'm going to fucking buy it.
Yeah, I'm
so,
buying
I mean,
it.
they're not wrong.
Yeah.
They're not wrong. I hate that they're right, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean they're wrong.
That's part of capitalism that I hate. Is
Yeah.
that F you knew I would buy it at 50. But they pushed it as hard as they fucking could.
It's the meme face of the guy with his arms crossed going like, well, I guess. Like, it's just... And I'm like, well, should I buy it on Switch? But and then I thought, Switch has, if you pay for a Nintendo Switch Online, they have a huge catalog of Nintendo games, Game Boy games, SNES games.
I would argue that it's not that big.
Well, I mean,
But I know what you mean.
It's big enough. I mean,
Yeah.
you get all
There's
the hits.
plenty of great
If you want to
games
play
to play
Mario
on there.
Kart 64, they even have Mario 64, Banjo Kazooie, Star Fox, and then you get unreleased games like Star Fox 2 for the SNES. You get Joe and Mac, one of my favorite alt titles from SNES. But that's just part of the thing. You just get it.
Yeah.
It's like you can have that. So I really think you said it right when they're pushing the limits. Rockstar's really
Yeah.
pushing the limits of what you can
Yeah.
get people
They
to pay
knew-
for. And I hate
Yeah.
that. I'm like, I'm probably going to give them $50.
That's the thing. They knew that they didn't have to remake it.
They knew
You know.
we'd have this conversation.
Yeah, they knew that we would pay $50. And they're like, you guys want to play Red Dead Redemption? We don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
And you will pay us for the privilege.
And I feel like it
Rockstar
would,
used to be the punk rock developers.
they got bought out by Take-Two Interactive.
I mean, they were always Take-Two Interactive.
Were they? I thought they
Yes.
were their own thing for back in the PlayStation
No,
games.
all the way back at Grand Theft Auto, the first one.
Really?
Take-Two Interactive game.
They were still always they were the edgy company that was like
They were-
when the Rockstar I remember when Bully came
Rockstar.
out.
They changed the developer's name were DMA, I believe,
Okay.
and then they changed to Rockstar North.
Yeah.
And those were the punk rock. They're doing whatever the hell they want. They made Manhunt for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And
A
I would
game
love
where
a
they're
remake
like
of
this
that.
this game is the downfall of society.
Yes.
Just so you know.
And now it's pushing
Yeah.
how much money that they can squeeze out of you.
I hate it and
When-
I hate that what it tells me about myself.
Yeah.
It's like
There was a whole generation.
you're holding up a mirror to me, but you didn't have to hold
Yeah.
it so close to my face.
There's a whole generation of console that didn't get its own Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah. The last one, PS4.
Yeah, PS4
Yeah.
didn't get a Grand Theft Auto game.
Nope.
They were happy enough buying whatever the hell you buy on Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yep.
Which I played that the day Grand Theft Auto Online came out.
Uh-huh.
I played that when the day it started, and it was so bad that nobody else could play it that I actually held the world record for the first race.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe wrong, but it was like, that's the world record right there. I was like, hell yeah.
But I don't know. It's depressing. Like I don't like
Yeah.
it. But now
It's rough.
I really wish I could be like, I'm not going to buy it. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, well, do I buy it for PlayStation or do I buy it for Switch?
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it on the Switch because I know it'll be reliable on
PlayStation.
I
the
feel
other
like
thing.
it's gonna be
not
more
even the
reliable.
full game because the full game came with multiplayer. It doesn't
Yeah.
have multiplayer.
It got rid of the multiplayer,
So it's a
huh?
worse version of something they put out
They
13
do
years
give you
ago.
Undead Nightmare.
Right, but
So-
Undead Nightmare was only $20 when it came out.
That's exactly what I'm thinking now.
There was a
is I
definitive
would give them
because I have
$40.
I have this for PS3.
Yeah,
like
me too.
it's the Game of the Year edition. It was Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare.
I bought it again off of eBay because I wanted to play Red Dead Redemption.
And then you
I
found
just
out
don't
you
have
can't.
I don't have a cord for my PlayStation 3 controller, so it's dead.
What kind of cord do you
I
need?
need a micro USB.
I've got like 5 of those. I'll give you one.
No, not a micro, a mini. I need a mini
Yeah.
USB.
Oh, not a USB-C?
No, mini USB.
I might have one.
I don't. I it's hard. I
got a box of
I can't
cords.
believe I can't find one. Yeah, but I mean, now we don't have to worry about it because I'm just going to buy it for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's sad.
But I bought it off of eBay. Guess how much I bought it for?
I'm guessing $12.
$11. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing.
You might have bought it from me. I don't know. But yeah, so that's the gaming news, which I think leads well into our first topic, which
Oh, speaking of games,
yeah. See how I did
I
this?
see that.
I'm getting fucking good at this, dude. Yeah. So if you need this episode will be out on the 18th. If you want to know what I'm doing, I'm probably playing Red Dead Redemption.
yeah, probably gonna
Tune in next week to find out if we bought it on PlayStation or Switch.
Yeah, that's gonna be the question.
Or both.
I hope they give
Who am
out
I
review
kidding?
copies at least,
Yeah.
so that people can tell me if it runs well on the Switch. Because I might get it on there just so I can play it seated.
I will tell you this. took my Switch down to Florida when I went on vacation, and I really have a hard time playing games on the Switch games that I care about. Like I tried to boot up on the plane, playing Tears of the Kingdom. I need the Pro controller. The Switch, or I need I know people have like special controller mounts for holding your Switch and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think I don't like my hands being that far apart. I like having the controller. You can't tell if you're listening to this, but I'm showing Jake. My hands are close. I'm doing a Trump thing where my hands are this side, and then now they're in.
He's playing an accordion, and now I know what he's talking about.
It's what Trump does. He just goes like this all the time. Switch is here, now it's here. But yeah, and I don't know. I don't think I could do Red Dead, but
I feel the same way because that game is very story driven, and it's nice to see it on a big screen.
If it had been graphically updated to the Red Dead Redemption 2 thing, I would have paid $70 for it. I would have paid $100 if you just say it's Mexico.
Thank you for
you get update Mexico, which is built into Red Dead. Like I've seen people that hack Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, not hack, but they go into like the source code or whatever you want. Now that it's on computer, all the fucking Linux dorks can like find out the code and everything like that.
Sure.
And they're like, oh, Mexico's in here, which is one of the things that people had said on Reddit. It's like, oh, there's going to be a Mexico
Red Dead Redemption. Yeah.
Or if you gave me Red Dead Redemption 2 Undead Nightmare, where you're playing as Arthur and it's zombies.
Yeah.
$70. Take my money. Shut up, fry mean. Shut up and take my money. But this, it just seems like you're just like
they knew exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's somebody that works at Rockstar that knew like this is as close as we can get in price point where they don't start trying to kill us.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like this is just
nobody kill anybody for fucking video
games.
It's so stupid.
But it's something that's in the top of my mind because I remember because I just flew down to Florida. It's one of those things I remember. Everyone gets a check bag, and then everyone was eventually all the airlines together. It's like it's $35 for a check bag. What's different? Well, nothing. But now you pay us for that. What are you going to do? It's like well. All right, but you don't have to be such a dick about it.
Yeah, it's like this is I am so close to being pissed off.
Yeah, I am really close to not giving you my money.
Boy, I don't know if I'm really going to think about this next game that you guys are going to release.
I'm going to do do you follow What Culture on? It's a Scottish video game YouTube channel. Great guys. They do great reviews and they do great things like it's kind of a genre on YouTube, like the before you buy, things you need to know before this. And they do really great reviews. And two of the guys from that were talking about it, and they were just saying that it's not as good of a game, and it would have been so much better just to do it properly. And it's such a disappointment.
It's not as good of a game.
Because it's not as good of a game as it was because it doesn't have multiplayer.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I was like, they already played it, and they said it was bad.
And what they kind of took from that was they're just like, they're not even super looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6 now.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6 because now I know that they're just going to push as hard as they fucking can.
And it seems like they only care about the money that they're getting from 13-year-olds that have their stepdad's credit card and they're just buying stuff in Grand Theft Auto online.
Yeah, something that I don't want to invest in at all.
Right.
I enjoy the story.
But then they say Grand Theft Auto 6 might be in Florida, and I'm like, kind of want a fan boat.
That would be nice to play Miami, Vice City again.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it. All right. We've digressed on this for too long.
Yes, that was too long.
I didn't think we would be so animated about that. I thought it would just be something we could just talk about.
I can't believe that you brought it up, and I was like, oh my God, because I really just read some more today.
Yeah.
We're still in it.
All right, we're moving forward.
Really quick.
Real quick.
They said, journalist asked them, like, $50 price point, really? And they're like, yeah, $50 price point. They're like, we did research. We're pretty sure that's going to be the price point.
So what they're saying is, listen, we asked a bunch of people, and they're like, are you going to burn down our building for $60? Probably. What about 50? Well, no.
No.
Are you still going to buy it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they walked away. All right,
we're done.
Done.
Let's move on to something better. Peacock, the second Peacock original show to make its debut on this podcast.
Yeah, that's amazing.
After Bupkis. Peacock, I gotta say, I know it's not like a Netflix thing where it's a new company making stuff. Yeah. Because Peacock it's NBC Universal. They've got a bunch of their stuff.
Yeah.
Solid.
I saw that the Mario Brothers movies on there.
Yeah, well, NBC Universal. They own all the shit.
So that's interesting.
But yeah.
I might watch that.
The Peacock original series, Twisted Metal.
Yes,
10
sir.
episodes, created by Rhett Reese, best known for the Deadpool movies and the Zombieland movies.
Yeah.
So if you like Deadpool and Zombieland, think that for the sense of humor.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this going in. Yeah.
Twisted Metal, if you don't know, is a video game series that started on the PlayStation. you're in a car with guns attached to the car, and you try to blow up other cars.
Yep.
That's.
I'm pretty sure that's the story.
That's the story. I mean, there's
think it
deeper
took
things. There's a
place
guy named
in-
Calypso, and if you win the tournament, you get whatever wish. But it was kind of a.
Oh yeah.
There were series. It was kind of like a Mortal Kombat thing where there was a story,
Yes.
but every character had their own story. It wasn't like this grand. And then in later games, just like Mortal Kombat, actually, they tried to shoehorn in all this big lore.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'm just driving around. I just want to blow people
I had no
up.
idea that they did try to do that.
They did. Twisted Metal Black for PlayStation 2 is
I
probably the
never
best
played
game in
that
the franchise.
one.
It's
Really?
fucking great.
Twisted
yeah.
Metal 2, I played a hell of a lot.
Twisted Metal
back
2
in
is the
day.
one I played the most.
Yeah.
And all right, so we'll get into that. We're not talking about Twisted Metal video games. We're talking about the TV show Twisted Metal.
We're talking about Red Dead Redemption.
And another thing. So let's talk about people that I think are doing video games well, because I have a lot of thoughts on this. So this game, this show, we're talking about television now. Stars Anthony Mackie as John Doe, and he's a character from the game. Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and other things. She plays Quiet, which is a new character. The main, I guess, the face of the Twisted Metal franchise is Sweet Tooth.
Right.
Which, clown, polka dot pants, hair's on fire.
Voiced by Will
Voiced by Will Arnett. It's Samoa Joe, the WWE wrestler.
Holy, that's Samoa Joe?
Yeah.
Oh,
Whose real
that's
name is,
wonderful.
Joe Sinoa.
I love
See ya,
Samoa
Noah.
Joe. I saw. I went to an AEW match with my brother when they came here December last year, and I saw Samoa Joe, and that is the biggest man I have ever seen in my entire life.
And he plays Sweet Tooth, the body of Sweet Tooth.
I was in awe when I saw that guy.
Yeah.
Because you watch him on TV, because I've seen him wrestle before, and I'm like, that guy's really cool. He's very flexible for like a fat guy, and then you see him in real life, and you're like, that is a superhuman.
He's got like an Andre the Giant thing going on.
Yes.
And then Thomas Hayden Church plays the cop, Agent Stone.
That's true.
Nev Campbell's in this, or Neve Campbell.
Believe Samoa Joe's in it.
How many episodes did you get into this?
So I watched up to I think I have 2 episodes left.
Okay.
Oh, I know exactly the episode, and it's what changed my score for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
and we'll talk about it.
Don't say yet, but I bet I can guess what it is.
you could guess it.
Does it have to do with the phrase, I'm going to lube up and fuck that car?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
So Anthony Mackie, probably best well known from this point as Falcon from the Marvel movies, also was the bad guy in 8 Mile. Yeah. Eminem raps in his face, and then he's just quiet and loses the rap battle at the end of 8 Mile. And so he plays, it's a post-apocalyptic world. Basically, there's a nuclear event. All the electronics go down. Society crumbles. It's that planes falling out of the sky. That classic,
Cities build
classic
walls
post-
around themselves.
Right. And then everything in the middle of the cities is fucking no man's land. John Doe, Anthony Mackie's character, is a milkman, which does deliveries from city to city. They're not allowed in the cities, but you run things like he is based in California, running things from like San Diego up to San Francisco.
Right.
And there are roving gangs. It's very Mad Maxy, obviously Mad Max inspired. The video games were Mad Max inspired too. The gangs roving, you got guns and machine guns attached to your car and everything like that. It's a real Road Warrior vibe.
It does feel like Twisted Metal cars.
Yeah.
They put rocket launchers and stuff on them, and it's
So I recommended this to Jake because I wanted to know his thing because it's something. First of all, have you ever gotten around to watching Last of Us yet?
No.
I will say I watched Last of Us. Last of Us has all the Emmy nominations, which, by the way, the Emmys now are pushed back until January because of the SAG strike.
Okay, good.
Which I think is the wrong message to take away from people striking. That we're going to wait another couple months to pat ourselves on the back about how good this industry is, instead of just fucking giving people what they deserve. I'm going to come off as anti-capitalist.
This is great.
episode.
Yeah, this is a great side of Taylor.
No, stop it. So
Yeah, Last of Us.
I like this better than Last of Us.
Okay, wow.
And it might be because it's the comedy and everything like that, but also it's one of the things that Last of Us obviously had a way bigger budget. I think all 10 episodes of this I read were made for $45 million.
Okay.
Which, nothing.
That's nothing.
That's nothing, really.
Yeah, for an entire series?
It's a lot, but
Yeah.
it's not much. And also, I think you see every dollar of it. Like the CGI, you can see sometimes where it's like, yeah, it's
like
TV.
poo.
But also, I think it's great. I think the world building is really good. And I was just shocked at how much I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And I think it draws you in. I think the humor is good. I think the characters are great. Anthony Mackie and Stephanie Beatrice. Stephanie Beatrice, I love ever since Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's fantastic.
My crush, one of my crushes. I think she's amazing. And I didn't know she was in this. So when I saw her in this, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I really want to watch some more. And then I saw Thomas Hayden Church is in this.
Yep.
And I was like, I love that guy. That's great. And then now I know Samoa Joe's in this, and that's like amazing. And he's voiced by Will Arnett.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's great. And the more I watched of the show, the more I was like, all right, this is really fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a really good time. The first episode has a part where he's driving through the mall, and one of the stores explodes, and a copy of Twisted Metal lands on his windshield, and he swipes it off, brushes it easily off with his windshield wiper, saying, no, we're not the fucking game. We're just called Twisted Metal.
Right.
We're really just called Twisted Metal, and we have Sweet Tooth.
Yes.
That's all we wanted.
Uh-huh.
And at first I was
well,
like...
his John Doe's of the games, too.
Yeah, but you're not... Who cares about John Doe?
Yeah. It's,
you know what I mean?
Sweet Tooth and Axel are the people that you
yes,
recognize.
You remember Sweet Tooth, and you played as Axel because you're like, why is there a guy just between two big
wheels,
tires?
Yeah.
And the more I watched it, the more I was like, this is great. And then we get to Jason Mantzoukas showing up, and I was like, this is a fucking 3.
Where I knew you would get to it.
This is an automatic 3.
Jason Mantzoukas comes in and plays Preacher.
Yep.
And it's very Jason Mantzoukas.
And it's just Jason Mantzoukas. And I was like, perfect.
One of the character actors where it's just like, you know what you're getting with him, and he's fantastic.
And
he's the one that
so
says,
funny.
I'm going to lube up and fuck that car.
Yeah. As a threat to the guy who loves his car.
So...
And, yes, the show's a 3. It's honestly a 3. Not just saying that because Jason Mantzoukas.
Would you have watched this?
Not at all.
Never.
Not at all.
So I will say, I want to put it into context with the 2 other made video game things that have come out this year. I'm sure I'm missing something. But that would be the Super Mario Brothers movie and The Last of Us. The Last of Us, all the praise, well-deserved. Super Mario Brothers movie made all the money, well-deserved. This, I think, weirdly... It's the most indie of them.
Yes.
Because obviously that's not the most well-known. I mean, I think
it's not a big
more
franchise.
People, like, if I showed a picture of Joel from The Last of Us and Sweet Tooth, I would say, do you know who either of these people are? Mom would probably say, I kind of remember that clown in the ice cream truck with the flaming hair.
Really?
Like,
you think so?
Just because I played Twisted Metal all the time. Like, I love playing the games, and I'm sure she came in and said...
It's an iconic clown.
There are the Twisted Metal commercials that were on TV and stuff like that, and I'm sure it was one of the games that came up in the 90s like, this game is killing our children. But maybe. She would know who he is more than she would know who Joel is.
That's true. Joel looks like a normal guy because that's what he is.
Everyone knows who Mario is.
Yes.
But when you're taking existing games that don't really have a story, it's Mario and Twisted Metal. They're not real stories. Not a narrative the way The Last of Us is. And
not
all
one
three
that
of
would
the,
make an engaging movie.
Right. And all 3 of them, especially Last of Us... expanded a lot on the game, but it was the closest beat for beat
very true
adaptation because it's the only one
that really
with could.
Bill was amazing.
Great. Yeah,
it's such a good episode.
Yeah, and that's going to win
period
all the Emmys when they eventually have them.
And it was so well made, and it was beyond what the character was
in the game, for sure.
And that's great.
Yeah, But this is definitely, I think, my favorite out of the 3. If you had to put Last of Us, Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal, and we said this in the Looking Forward episode way back in January, I said Super Mario Brothers movie was the thing I was looking forward to the most.
That's true.
I don't think I even knew if Twisted Metal was coming out. But I was wrong. Twisted Metal, and I wouldn't even think that. One, I didn't think Anthony Mackie, someone whose star is clearly on the rise. He's the new Captain America.
I can't. This guy deserves leading roles.
Anthony Mackie?
Yeah,
he's
so much more.
So fucking charming.
God
he's
damn
got
it,
kind
is
of
he
that,
charming.
Will Smith, Denzel Washington, just that smooth talking. Not just because he's an African American guy, but he's got that smooth talking, comic timing, just spot on.
He's just so cute when he's doing all this stuff.
Charismatic as fuck.
Yes. So I was so into just listening to him. You could tell that he developed his character. You could tell because he's alone on the road a lot, and now he's with this girl, Quiet, who likes to remain quiet, and like he's just excited to talk. Like when he pulls up to a city, he wants to talk to everybody that's there, that's unloading with him.
That was like the Will Smith vibe.
Yeah,
like kind of Jim West from Wild Wild West. That sort of like
they make
quick
Wild
talking.
Wild West reference in this show.
But I wanted you to watch this because I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it.
Yes, it's wonderfully enjoyable. Yeah. It's amazing that even the jokes are sometimes real shitty. Like so bad, I am like hurt.
Right,
but
it's very campy.
They play it very campy.
I knew because you can't make this game or this show with the tone of Last of Us.
That's what I thought was going on. That's what I thought was going on.
Yeah.
And I thought that they were like, we're going to franchise this bad boy. You know, we're going to make a cultural impact with this. But I'm pretty sure what they did now is like, I want to make a funny show about Twisted Metal. And that's what they did.
Which, I mean, Twisted Metal 2, I remember was it was trying to be humorous and everything like that. And then when Twisted Metal Black came out, that was like, oh, we're going to be dark about this. Yeah. And it was great. Technically, Twisted Metal 2 is a fantastic game.
I love that game.
And they made another one in like 2012 that I never played.
Oh, God, I didn't even know.
Yeah. It was out on PS3. I don't think it was widely regarded well. But Twisted Metal 2 is kind of like the bellwether. I mean, they were pumping out Twisted Metals like they were pumping out Tony Hawk's. Like it was just going out and out and out.
I'm still hoping that they make a Vigilante 8 reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Nintendo 64
Twisted Metal
car arena.
And that was something
battle.
like a lot of franchises kind of made this, like, you know, going from Mario Kart. This wasn't a racing game, but it was, you know, Mario Kart, you have turtle shells and stuff like that, and every kind of franchise had their own, but Twisted Metal was its own thing.
Yeah.
For a while, Sweet Tooth was kind of the face of PlayStation.
Vehicle arena combat. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I was shocked. I think Will Arnett so you haven't seen...
I saw a clip when during the Video Game Awards. Yeah. They had a quip. I can't speak.
Quick clip.
They had I can't even do it now. They had a part of the show that they showed. Yeah. And I was annoyed by it because they were doing the Cisco song. And I was like,
thong song?
Yeah, and I was like, this is very annoying, you know? And it's still annoying as a part. But as a character, Sweet Tooth, I really enjoy him.
That's why I wanted you to get past episode 2, because I thought maybe because episode 1 sets up John Doe, episode 2 kind of sets up Sweet Tooth, because that's when he goes to Las Vegas where Sweet Tooth is. The whole premise of the show is John Doe is hired by Raven, who is played by Neve Campbell, and she's the president or leader of... she's good looking.
She did great. I was happy to see her. She's
like the head of New San Francisco, and she tells John, I need you to go to New Chicago, pick this up, bring it back to me. You have 10 days. If you can get it back, you're allowed into the city, and we'll give you a life. She shows him, like, you know, there's like pork loin and everything like that, but then the first episode ends... She's clearly faking it, and she has ulterior motives. We don't know what they are.
We don't know what they are.
You find out in episode 10. So I wish you had seen the last 2 because I don't want to spoil it for you. So, now that if you didn't like it, I was just going to go full spoilers. Yeah, but now I don't want to because you need to.
You're not going to do it.
You're going to like it. It gets better. I can't wait to talk to you next week.
I'm excited
like it more
because it's definitely a really good show.
I'm expecting in the next 3 days a text message from you saying, "Holy shit, they did it."
That's wild. It's wild to think that Twisted Metal was going to be this good of a show.
It's good
because I was even seeing on Twitter where people were complaining that they don't even get to a competition.
We talked about this with the most recent Mortal Kombat movie. They didn't do a Mortal Kombat.
But I still like that movie.
Yeah,
you know, and I still like this show.
Yeah,
there's still vehicle combat in it, but that's not even the grip of it. It's the life around it. You know, when they go to this bar that's
other milkmen.
Yeah, that's other milkmen.
And that's kind of fun. I will say this, it's one of the things of the more you know about the game, the more Easter eggs you see. It's one of those, and that was very similar to the Super Mario Brothers movie, because there are things like that where watching the Super Mario Brothers movie, the more you know about Mario, the more little references you get. You're like, oh, that's a little Easter egg. That's something like that.
Just like Sonic. Sonic did the same thing.
Yeah, and in the Twisted Metal, the bar that you're talking about with all the other milkmen, those are all like other drivers. Like you do see, like you see Granny Dread in one episode, Flower Power's in it, Spectre's in it, and it's just like fucking great. And that one you see, what's his name, Mr. Smash. Who in the game is just a guy driving a construction, like a bulldozer, and it's construction equipment, and he smashes things. But in this, he's Mr. Smash because he has a gigantic penis that he smashes watermelons with, like Gallagher. It's very
so
absurd.
Silly.
Yeah.
That part is silly as hell.
But also, I think
Granny Dread episode is fantastic.
Little sweet too.
Very sweet, actually. I would say.
I will say this: I wasn't expecting this show to tug on the heartstrings at all.
Try and have a heart, you know, it does have a heart. They did it really well.
I think that's something that Rhett Reese does really well because he did that with the Zombieland movies. The second one, not as much, but the first Zombieland.
Second Land was pretty disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, but both Deadpool movies.
But Zombieland was really good.
Both Deadpools are fantastic as well. But it does have a lot more heart than you would expect. Not that it's ever overly sappy. but it does have more heart than you think.
It has a character that's motivated. It's sweetly motivated, like a good-hearted person intentionally.
And even if it's not sweetly motivated, it's understandable.
Yes.
Like it doesn't come out of nowhere that suddenly this person has feelings.
Can we spoil the Granny Dread storyline?
Sure.
They pick them up off the road, Quiet and John, and they say, hey, go and grab us this medicine for us, for Granny. And so they go. That's where Flower Power is.
Right.
And
it's one of those things. She has her little Volkswagen that she has the ham radio for.
Yeah.
But it's, it's obviously the character, but it's one of those things where if you didn't know that,
it's just
you didn't have to have, there was no barrier of entry and knowledge of the video games to enjoy that. When that's something else. I think as much as I enjoy liking the games, I can't stress this enough to anybody.
Yeah.
If you like Deadpool, if you like Zombieland,
I didn't know any of this. I played the hell out of Twisted Metal 2. I can't tell you any other characters other than Sweet Tooth and Axel, like you said.
I played all the Mortal Kombat games. I didn't know Kano was Australian until the most recent movie, and I was like, was he always Australian?
Do you not know the story why he's Australian?
No, because I didn't care about the whole fucking story of Mortal Kombat.
Can I tell you?
Yes. Quick sidebar into Mortal Kombat.
Quick sidebar. They're making the first Mortal Kombat movie, right? And they're auditioning, and the guy that comes in for Kano, he's Australian. And they're like, that's it. Kano's an Australian now.
So they just took it because that guy couldn't do an American accent?
Awesome. Yeah. And they were like, okay, we want him. Kano is Australian.
All right. But yeah, perfect thing. You didn't need the barrier of entry or the knowledge barrier of entry.
But then he's an Australian guy and he's really cool.
So they get the herbs from Flower Power.
They bring it back to Granny. And that's when they say, like, this isn't for her to feel better. Like, this is so that she passes painlessly.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow. Like,
because Granny Dread, she's an older woman, and they live in the Convoy, which is like a whole bunch of semi-trucks that are always on the move. They're their own really moving city. Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of really has a steampunky vibe to it. It's really nice.
Really cool setup on that thing. Yeah. And Granny Dread just has really nice things to say, where she's like, when you live lifestyles like ours, you usually, you
don't get to pick how you go.
You don't get to pick how you go. And it's like, and I'm one of the lucky few. And like, that's really like sweet.
Yeah.
Like, you start to really understand what her motivation was.
Right.
And I was like, that's a great little character. And she's in one episode.
Came out of nowhere for Twisted Metal on Peacock.
Yes. Peacock.
Yeah. Fucking Peacock, man.
Twisted Metal did this to me, and Bubkiss did this to me.
Right.
There's heart in these things that I would not think there would be.
And go back to what you said about Samoa Joe playing Sweet Tooth. That is one of those things, and I think because he's a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's always wearing the mask. And you never see him without the mask on because that's iconic for Sweet Tooth. Having Will Arnett, who does the voice, couldn't do that.
No.
Because he doesn't have the size. And I don't know if Samoa Joe just didn't want to do the voicing or they wanted to put in Will Arnett because it's a little bit of a, Will Arnett's also an executive producer. And he's also just a very talented voice actor.
He's just a good voice actor.
But Samoa Joe, as the body of Sweet Tooth, you could tell that he's a wrestler because he's not playing to the camera; he's playing to the whole crowd, which you need to be able to do because he has no facial expression.
Exactly,
it's
you have to have broader
mask.
expressions. Man, us knowing drama,
right?
Having a little drama knowledge, we see these little flares
play to the cheap
nobody
seats,
else knows. Well, you got to let everybody know the emotion that you're feeling, and also it works within the character because he's a performer and he's trying to build a great performance.
And he's literally a clown.
Yes,
like that's something clowns have to do.
Yeah, he's trying to get a following of people,
a fan club.
Yeah, he's trying to get a fan club, and he's trying to.
Because he has a tragic, and that's the other thing it does well. Is like every episode kind of goes into one character's backstory at the beginning.
Yeah,
through like little vignettes of like going back.
Yeah, how Thomas Hayden Church became this
Agent Stone, and then like it goes back to Quiet's backstory with her brother, which is fucking heartbreaking.
Really heartbreaking.
Yeah,
because you feel the excitement of where they're going. They're going to California now. They got these papers signed so that they can get a different job because they fucking hate the working at the plantation that they're doing now.
Right,
and they go to an even worse job, like a nightmare job.
Yeah,
and it's like. Oh man, like I feel, and she feels guilty as shit.
Yeah,
and like wow,
and Stephanie Beatrice in that episode specifically is great.
What
great
a
actress.
Fantastic actress! She is so fun to watch, and I am so happy that she's in this.
I'm happy I made you watch Twisted Metal.
I'm happy you made me watch Twisted Metal too, bud.
Fucking A.
Fucking A, dog.
All right, 3's all around for Twisted Metal. Everyone go watch it. It's available right now on Peacock. Jake, just shoot me a text when you finish it because you're gonna. Now that I know you like it, I can't. Like I said, I can't spoil it for you.
Yeah, please don't.
You're gonna lose your fucking mind in the last episode.
Oh yeah, we'll spoil it probably next episode when I caught up on the podcast for everybody.
So let's go into what was the last thing that I pulled up on this. The director for a lot of these episodes, a guy named Kitao Sakurai. He directed 66 episodes of the Eric Andre show.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Just that in Eric Andre, if y'all don't know, it's pranks and live
it's a wild
action.
Show. Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
Which lends itself very well to this show because you have to shoot absurd things really well. Which Eric Andre, his show it was like a talk show, and then
he'll set himself on fire and then run.
The wall will fall down, and there's like a guy with a lawnmower, behind it. And
my
it's
favorite
just anarchy.
Bit was he's talking to some celebrity and coffee starts shooting out of his coffee cup.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Man, I knew that would happen."
Yeah, and just that kind of absurdity lends itself to this very well.
That's true.
It's absurdity done in earnest, which is
People
plays into
understand.
this
Yeah.
perfectly. All right, so everyone watch Twisted Metal.
Hell yeah!
All right, let's
Honestly.
get into Jake's recommendation for me.
Really, I want everybody to watch Twisted Metal so that there is a second season.
Dude, after episode 10, you're going to really want there to be a
can't
second
wait.
season.
That's great. I can't
It's
wait.
so fucking good. I did like when they finally... You got to where they're actually in Chicago, right?
No.
When they get the package?
Yes.
Yeah. And they get it from the guy?
I didn't like that part too much because
It pays off.
Stephanie Beatrice wasn't cautious at all
Right.
picking up the package.
It pays off. With that guy,
Okay.
like, are you Calypso? He's like, no.
Yeah,
It pays
that's pretty
off.
funny.
It pays off so well. All right, so let's get into Jake's recommendation for me, which
Yeah.
was an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes, sir.
Long-running television parody show. I
Yeah.
think I didn't know this started when I was pulling up my research on this. I didn't know Mystery Science Theater started in
1988.
1988.
Booyah!
Yeah.
The year I was born.
Jesus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
Started
didn't know it was
on,
that old.
Public broadcasting
But
in 1988.
One episode in particular he wanted me to watch because I had seen Mystery Science Theater before and I've seen some of the riff tracks things and everything like that, but I've never seen this one
I didn't
specifically.
know.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things. I think it was on Sci-Fi Channel like Saturday mornings.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I would watch it every now and again.
Oh yeah.
But I had never
I'd watch
seen
it
this one
religiously.
I found it on YouTube. It's available on YouTube, unless it gets taken down because this podcast is so fucking popular. The film Time Chasers.
Yeah. Yes, sir. What a movie.
So, Jake, why'd you recommend this? Because, I mean, we have to do this two ways. I have thoughts of this, because I know this was a sneaky, well, not even a sneaky double rec. It was a flat-out double rec from you. Because you wanted me to watch Mystery Science Theater, but
Yes.
you also wanted me to see the film Time Chasers. Because it was impossible for me not to watch Time Chasers.
Well, I wanted an
And I feel
engaging
like
movie
if
at
there-
the very least.
I feel like if there wasn't a Mystery Science Theater episode of Time Chasers, and it was just some dumb fucking thing you had on DVD somewhere, eventually you would have gotten me to watch Time Chasers.
It's kind of true.
It's 100%
That's really true.
I know
would
you
watch
better than
Time
you know
Chasers
yourself at this
without
point.
Mystery Science Theater.
We have like almost actually this is
Because-
episode 37. We almost have a full work week of podcast recording of just you and me talking.
Yeah. So the movie is competently made, as in
Is it?
There's a beginning, a middle, and an end with a character that engages with other characters to extend the plot to the ending.
So you're saying it's competently made in the sense that there are moving images in a sequential order?
It is
With
a
sound
story
that
that
mostly
begins
matches
and
up.
ends.
Yes.
And we're talking because there's a lot of Mystery Science Theater that I watch. There's a lot of movies that I watch, and not all of them live up to the parameters of does it have a story, and does it begin, and does
fucking
it
depressing.
end? Yeah, buddy, I love movies.
All right, so if you don't know, and I'm sure most people do, Mystery Science Theater 3000, it's essentially a guy, he's on a spaceship, and he's got two robot buddies.
Yeah.
And he's sentenced to watch shitty movies. And
Yes.
it just, they show the video, or they show the movie, and it has, it's a cliche at this point. A little silhouettes of them
Yeah,
down at the bottom.
watching the movie.
Watching the movie, and they just make fun of it. It's
jokes
what
the whole time.
everyone thought they and their friends, oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Yeah.
Like, I've listened to people do, like, commentaries, and it's not always great. Some of them
Yeah.
are fantastic. There's a couple
Exactly.
podcasters. One of the podcasters that I listen to, they have movie commentaries, and it's not them trying to do this. It's
Yeah.
them, like, being like, oh, did you know this? And it's, like, little bits of trivia and stuff like that, and I enjoy that. But everyone thinks they and their buddies could do this, just like make jokes.
They think they're doing it off the top of their head. They have a writer's room and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. They watch like 20 movies before they choose one that they could feel like they could riff an entire 90-minute movie off of.
Right.
You know?
And so this one is Time Chasers. Jake,
Yeah.
why don't you tell me about Time Chasers?
Time Chasers is a movie about a man who has a plane, just a standard propeller plane,
Fucking Cessna.
with a computer on the inside of it. And with the help of his computer, he can go into the future or in the past. And once he completes his invention, he calls the local news to bring out a reporter, and he calls a big, scary company to help fund his research.
GenCore.
Yeah, GenCore. Yeah, GenCore.
And their CEO.
Yeah, he's got a very funny voice.
So the twist
Yeah.
is he takes the reporter back into the future.
Yeah, they go
after
into the future first time, and it works. Future's beautiful.
Everything's
and
so nice. It's
he
all
falls in
it's
love
very Back to the
with
Future
reporter.
2 future.
Yeah, he falls in love with the reporter, and they go on dates in the past, and they go into the future again, and now it's dystopian.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, this happened because we gave the research to GenCore.
Right.
We have to go back in the past to the present and stop that from happening.
Yes.
And we'll end up at the Civil War.
It was a Revolutionary War.
It was the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Good correction. They are pissed, Minutemen.
Yeah.
There's a movie here.
I mean, I'm not doubting the fact that there is a movie here.
Yeah.
So I like this, and
Yeah.
I think it's a great episode of Mystery Science Theater 2000.
Yeah.
Obviously, specifically on that, it's a fantastic episode of Mystery Science Theater because it's just really well made. Mm-hmm. Jokes land.
Yeah.
There's a whole side story of Crow going back in time
Yeah.
to
Try and save Mike from
stop
being...
Mike from getting on the spaceship, and then that turns spaceship, and then Mike's older brother is on the spaceship, and it's a cute episode of Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
So it definitely gets a 3 as a Mystery Science Theater episode.
Hell yeah.
I have problems with this movie.
Well, everybody should. It's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
It's a fun movie for me because I love how absurd it is, and you could tell that these people are like a theater troupe people.
And
because
that's just jokes they make all the time.
Yeah.
In Mystery, like in Extra Walks In, it's like
theater practice.
yeah, it's like, oh, it's the producer's cousin.
Yeah, who brought their own suits to the set.
What I was shocked is like this movie came out in 1994.
Yeah,
this came out when Jurassic Park came out. And obviously this wasn't a Spielberg budget, but I'm like, what other independent films came out around here?
right.
And I think one of my favorite movies of all time, independent film, was released in 1994, which was Clerks.
Oh yeah, Look
Which,
at that.
granted, Clerks, much smaller budget.
Yeah, probably smaller budget than Time Chasers.
Time Chasers was an independent film. It's a dude wanted to make it, and then okay, so full spoilers for Time Chasers because fuck this.
No, there's no reason.
Not,
Let people enjoy. No,
at the end, they go back in time to the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
It was a actual fucking battle, but it was in the Revolution, and then they end up dying in the Revolution.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 guys that go back because he has to go back to stop himself, and his girlfriend dies when they go back, but then his other girlfriend, like, it breaks.
Yeah, it breaks the golden rule.
This isn't the first time travel thing we've talked about on this show.
Yeah, it doesn't give a shit.
But it breaks every time travel trope to the point where it's just and maybe it's just, granted, it was an independent film. This guy's I've looked up his IMDb, the writer director David Giancola.
Yeah, a David Giancola film.
Edited by Ace Giancola, and the I think some of the producers were like his parents, essentially. So this guy, it was a work of passion, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
But it was just such a bad fucking movie.
And it's amazing that he chose this script.
Yes.
It's amazing that he ran with it.
And I
give him credit for working. It's no small feat to make a movie. You know,
no,
it's insane.
You made a thing. It's something I haven't done.
Yeah, he's done something better than I could.
Yeah.
And kudos to you. You did it bad. You made a bad one, but way to go for seeing your dream out, dog. Like, that's amazing.
Absolutely. But this being said, if you had recommended me to watch Time Chasers, I would have shit on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would not have done as good of a job shitting on it as Mystery Science Theater 3000 did.
That's why I think this is one of my favorite.
You sandwich these together, it's definitely a 3 just because of that.
Hell yeah.
Because if it was just Time Chasers, I would have, like we talked about.
This is the perfect movie for Mystery Science Theater 3000, which is the reason that I wanted to.
Yeah. And apparently this was the first movie that was written, produced, and released after Mystery Science Theater came out. And it's the first one that they did that came out after they started the show.
Yeah.
But it wasn't made. It's one of those things you can't make something bad on purpose. Whenever you try, I think we talked about this. I forget what we fucking I don't know. It was an older episode. We talked about something with a parody thing.
Yeah,
and it's like when you try to. I think it was Karate Robo Zabagar. It was when you try to make a parody something bad on purpose.
Yeah,
it's so easy to fuck up. You have to thread that needle. They could not have made this movie bad on purpose. Yeah. It's people trying in earnest to do it.
Yes.
And then it just lends itself perfectly to this. And it just shows
that, there's a lot more craft to movies than people think.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I have the DVD of this. You do. And it comes with an intro.
Wait, of Mystery Science Theater or of Time
Mystery Science Theater, Time Chasers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it comes with an intro from Mike Nelson. And he talks about how they were even friends with the producers of this movie.
Yeah.
And they even threw a watch party that they invited the MST people to watch it with them.
Yeah.
And Mike Nelson was like, I guess they thought that when we watched it, we were going to be like, hey, this is actually a really good movie. It's like, but we did it, and now we don't really talk to those people anymore.
And it's like, if I had just watched Time Chasers, I would have gone down, like we talked about last week, totally not just an hour ago, going down a rabbit hole of research for something that I don't like.
Right.
And I would have found out that this movie did get kind of and apparently now it's broken even just based on interest from Mystery Science Theater diehard nerds like you.
Oh, I'm never going to buy this movie.
Well, I'm just saying,
but I know what you mean.
That it's in the zeitgeist and stuff like that. I mean, it might have been this fucking guy that uploaded it to YouTube, and he's just trying to catch in on that money. But regardless, like, it's perfect as that. Time Chasers itself, garbage movie. Do not go watch Time Chasers. But do watch Time Chasers, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I'm happy. It's really hard to get people to watch Mystery Science Theater, and I don't know why. And I was so happy to have the moment to actually tell you to do it.
You are absolutely right in the fact that, just like last week when I talked about I wanted to find the Bear episode for you, if you're trying to get someone to watch Mystery Science Theater, it's this one.
Yes.
Like, this is a good one. The movie is, it's not a movie you've seen before.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one's seen this movie.
It's zany in the way that it should be zany, and it's made in earnest, which is also very fun. It doesn't feel like a cash grab, because there's cash grab movies that are in MST, and while it's funny that they make fun of those as well, it's still like it feels dirty. Like those people are fucking dirty.
I have vague memories of, speaking of fucking cash grabs, goddamn capitalism. I have vague memories of Mystery Science Theater because, like I said, I would watch it, and I you know how sometimes there are just little jokes that stick in your head, and sometimes they can be like inside jokes with you and your friends from something. There was one Mystery Science Theater episode. I remember it clear as day. Don't know what it was. Don't know what the movie was. We'll probably never know. But one of the jokes was there's this dude that meets like this mountain man in the woods, and he goes up and the mountain man says something like, "Oh, you're just like your uncle," and he's like, "You knew my uncle?" And then Crow just goes, "No, he was delicious."
Oh, yes.
I don't know what it is. I know it's Mystery Science Theater. What'd you think of the reboot of Mystery Science Theater?
It's fine
with Jonah Ray.
I think
Jonah Ray I like a lot, and also
Jonah Ray I love. I think he's a great comedian.
A kid from our town is in that.
That's true. He's Servo, isn't he?
Hampton Young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great and comic, great writer.
Yeah. And a good Crow. And there's a good Crow. There's a good Servo. It's just, I just don't think I have the nostalgia for it. I think it's really good. Every episode that I have seen of it, it's been funny.
And Jonah Ray, he's a great, and he talked about this when he got basically handed the keys. It's like, we're allowing you to do it. It was one of those things where, and he had a writing room, and he wanted to live up to that. And Jonah Ray's got this great, kind of reverence for certain things. He did a cover, pop covers of Weird Al songs.
Yeah.
And it was called "You Can't Call Me Al," I think it was.
Yeah.
It was his band.
Don't Call Me Al.
Don't Call Me Al.
Yeah.
And it was just he has such a reverence for comedy touchstones like that.
Yeah.
So, and you could tell that
He was a good choice.
It means a lot to people like this thing. And obviously you're one of those people now. I know it tangentially, but now after this, I'm like, yeah, toss, if you got any more, like, hey, you need to check out this episode of Mystery Science. Because you know me, I don't have patience for shitty movies. I'm not going to sit down and watch them. But if it's Mystery Science, I'll fucking
No,
power
it was
through
delicious. I know it. Oh,
I have no idea.
Yes, I do.
If you could pull this out of
know
your
it.
ass right now.
Oh shit! What is it called? Final Sacrifice.
Final
Booyah!
Sacrifice?
The Final Sacrifice. It's a little kid. He's wearing a red sweater. No, you knew my father? Knew him. He was delicious. Yeah, because he's following his father's treasure map. And it's a Canadian movie. It's got Rousdower in it. Yes, that is a classic.
Dude, I'm going to do some more research after the podcast. If you're right, I'm going to fucking give you so many props.
It's gotta be The Final Sacrifice.
I'm going to give you so many props if you just pulled that out of your knowledge database.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, check
because
this
it was
out.
a mountain man. He has a big bushy beard, and he kind of talked like this. when they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yep. Final Sacrifice.
I
Yes,
swear to
buddy.
God, I hope you're right.
Oh, baby!
You would have solved one of my life,
Whoa.
quandaries of not knowing what that is, but having that stuck in my head.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
All
did
right.
it.
So yeah, check out Mystery Science Theater 3000 making fun of time chasers. It's available on YouTube. Also check out Twisted Metal on Peacock. If you like the show, please follow us on Instagram at upyouralleypod. Send your emails of your recommendations to upyouralleypod@gmail.com. Follow us on Spotify. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Tell your friends.
Threads.
Do all that fun stuff. Let's talk about what we're going to be getting into next week.
Yeah.
Jake, what do you got for me?
So we talked about this last episode.
Okay.
And I've decided. I looked, and I think it's on Hulu. But let's get you watching some FLCL, buddy. Let's get you back into some anime, buddy.
Okay, so FLC, just the letters?
Yeah, just the letters. FLCL. There's 2 seasons. I haven't even seen the second season. It came out like 20 years later. Not even 20. That's ridiculous. Probably like 10, 15.
Stream on Hulu, yeah. One
There you
season
go.
on Hulu.
Okay. 1 season. Hopefully it's the first season.
FLC, oh God, it's a fucking, there's a scarf and a guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, it's only 6 episodes, and it's dubbed.
Okay.
So that should be helpful to you. And I just watch maybe 1-2 episodes.
Okay.
See if you vibe with it.
FLCL, yeah, first one's 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Perfect.
it's available on Hulu, FLCL on Hulu. I have music for you.
Hooray!
And I guess probably on Spotify.
Probably on YouTube Music.
I know it's on Spotify. Probably on YouTube Music.
Yeah, let's find out.
If not, you're just going to have to listen on Spotify.
That's true.
It is a 2023 album that just came out.
Oh.
The album is Artificial Birth by the band Salsa Windfall.
Salsa Windfall.
Yep.
Artificial Earth.
Artificial Birth.
Birth.
Yeah. By Salsa Windfall.
That's a wild name.
Yes, it is. So
Hey, it's here.
Yeah.
Okay. YouTube Music's got it.
I don't want to tell you too much about it.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. You have to listen to it in order. It's one of those where songs play into
I got
the
you.
next thing.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Artificial Birth by Salsa Windfall.
All right. Sounds silly.
If you, it's good.
Okay. It sounds like it's going to be silly.
I think this might be so far up your alley it hurts you.
Okay. This sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So Jake's gonna listen to Salsa Windfall's album Artificial Birth. I'm gonna watch season 1 of FLCL, available on Hulu.
Damn.
Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for telling your friends about the show. Jake, thanks for coming over.
Yeah,
Love
buddy.
you, buddy.
I love you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.